Okay, so hi everyone, this is Nancy, and I want to welcome you all to today's webinar, which is promoting emotional safety during uncertain times. And our speaker is Jennifer Johnson from the Child Safety Collaborative in Dallas. So I want to explain the setup. You should see me and or Jennifer and the interpreter and the captioning. You cannot see each other, or at least you are not supposed to be able to see each other. If you have questions, please put them in the Q&A box, and then Jennifer will be asking you to put some stuff in the chat box during the presentation. But I want to thank Sherry Farina and the NorCal Services for Deaf and Hard of Hearing, who provided us free of charge today, interpreters and captioning. Our interpreters are Molly Bowen and Lori Sims, and our interpreter is Danielle Choba. And thank you, all of you, so much. So with that, I want to introduce Jennifer Johnson, who is the founder of the Child Safety Collaborative. She is a PhD candidate at the University of North Texas. Is that correct, Jennifer? And a former teacher of the deaf, and she can tell you whatever else she wants to do about her background, but I want to make sure she has plenty of time. So I'm done.
All right, welcome guys. I'm so excited to be here. I feel like any kind of interaction that I get to have with real people is like way more exciting than it used to be. So I'm super excited to be here. I have a couple of kind of housekeeping things that I want to address before we get started. So I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen real quick. And I'm going to go to the chat box. So if you can look over on the chat box, I'm actually going to put a link there. And if you could go to that link, and it's going to take you maybe 2 minutes to click through those questions. And it's just to kind of give an idea of what you already know about these topics so that we can see how effective this webinar was for you. So if you'll just go to that link, it's a forms.gle link, and just quickly click through those different questions. I think there's 5. And I'm going to give you just a second to do that. Oh, okay, here we go. Sorry about that. So everyone should see it now. I had accidentally just sent it to the panelist. And when you finish that, if you'll just drop a number 1 in the chat box, drop a number 1 in the chat box. That lets me know that you've finished. Yes, you are going to copy and paste it into your web browser. Unfortunately, we don't have a way to make it clickable. Okay, I'm starting to get some ones, so I'm going to go ahead and move it forward. I'm trying not to give you more than one direction at a time so that we can respect deaf people's need to see the interpreter. All right, we've got quite a few people. Okay, so the other thing is I'm going to be using the chat box quite a lot to get your input. We can't see each other, so it's good for me to know you're still out there and that you're kind of following what we're talking about. So I'm going to be asking you to put different numbers or different words or things like that in the chat box. Something else is if you have a question during the webinar, if you go to the bottom strip of your screen, there's a Q&A button you can click on. And if you will put all of your questions into the Q&A box, what we're going to do is I'll save some time at the end to answer some questions. I know that a lot of times when I do webinars about emotional safety, the questions can be really complicated questions that can't really be answered in a sentence or two. And so what I've committed to do is to take those questions that I receive and to put them into our Facebook Live trainings over the next few Mondays. And so I'll be telling you how to access those later in the presentation. So we talked about the pre-survey, we talked about the chat box, we talked about the Q&A. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen again. I'm gonna give the captioner time to click. All right, so I have to say when Nancy contacted me to do this presentation, I was really excited because I think a lot of times emotional safety and things related to mental health aren't always kind of in the forefronts of our minds until we're in a situation where we really see a need for it. And I feel like in our country right now, in the midst of COVID-19 and stay-at-home orders and all these kinds of things, mental health and emotional safety has really come to the forefront of a lot of people's minds. And so I don't like the circumstances that it's come to pass, but I do think that it's a really great opportunity for us to all learn a little bit more about mental health and emotional safety. So before we get started, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. There we go. I am married to a wonderful man named Mark. I have 2 boys. I'm a stepmom to this kid up here. I told him to send me a picture for my presentation, and this is what he sent me. And it was probably a year or so ago. And I've just left it because it's just such a perfect picture of his personality. And it's such a silly picture for him to send. And so I've left it in there. And then I also have a son who's 13 months old. I also come to this work as a survivor of childhood sexual abuse. And so a lot of these things that I talk about from a professional perspective, but also from a perspective as someone who has experienced those kind of abuses and continues to strive towards full recovery. And I also have a sweet little pup named Tilly, and we all say that we're her servant because she really believes that our whole existence is just to serve her. Professionally, I am, like Nancy said, a PhD candidate at the University of North Texas, an educational psychologist by trade. I focus on emotional behavioral disorders. I used to be a deaf ed teacher. Whoops. I wonder if there's a timer or what. Used to be a deaf ed teacher and an instructional specialist in a regional day school program for the deaf here in Texas. Right now, I teach pre-service teachers at the university, and I'm a doctoral researcher. So I've been in a lot of different educational settings, and I've seen a lot of different things. And so my research interest really emerged as I was in the classroom and working with students who are deaf and hard of hearing. And those interests are adverse childhood experiences. So you can see it's coming from my own personal background, but also from what I saw in the classroom. Social emotional learning, which is what we're going to talk a little bit about today, and also abuse prevention curricula. And so it's just something I'm super passionate about. And so I'm really hoping that we can all learn together today. Out of all that kind of came the Child Safety Collaborative, which is an organization that I run here in Dallas. And our whole entire kind of work here is based around equipping adults, we call them grown-ups, to promote safety and healthy behavior. And so we do three different things. We talk about child abuse prevention topics. We do a lot of consulting related to deaf and hard of hearing services here in Texas. And we do in-home and virtual behavioral coaching. And the reason this matters for you is because during the COVID-19 stay-at-home order, we are offering free coaching for parents.
Hi, can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes.
Can you slow down a little bit when you read from printed? Thank you.
Yes.
All right.
I have a really bad habit of talking really fast. So we are offering not right now, we're not in home right now. We're offering virtual behavioral coaching. And so what that looks like is just you thinking of like, what's the one thing that if I changed it, if I could figure out how to change it with my kid in my home, it would really make this stay-at-home order a lot more enjoyable, and it would really benefit our well-being at home. And so we're offering one session for each family. There's a packet of information that you fill out before the session. And then it's a 45-minute to 1 hour virtual session on Zoom, just kind of helping you talk through and troubleshoot what's going on in your home. And so we're thrilled to be able to offer that during this time, and there'll be more information on that later in the presentation. So to kind of get to, I'm going to go right past this, but we do offer trainings every Monday night. That's where your Q&A questions are going to get answered, but we'll go back to that. Okay, so some objectives we have for today. By the time you leave here today, I really want you to feel an increase in your confidence about a couple of different things. One, I want you to be able to feel confident about promoting healthy communication in your home and between your child and their peers during this time of distancing. And I want you to have confidence related to providing an environment for your child that's emotionally safe and structured. And so those are kind of the 2 points that we're really gonna try to nail home today. So kind of the overall concept of today's presentation is you have the power to mold your child's experience. This is, I keep hearing people use the word unprecedented, and it's like you can't come up with anything else to describe it. Like, what is this time that we're experiencing where we have no experience, right? We don't have a handbook that's telling us how to handle these situations. I don't have a handbook telling me how to be a doctoral researcher and a business owner and a stay-at-home mom all at the same time. It's really stressful, and it really gets to you, And so what I'm really focusing on right now in my own home as well is really trying to own the reality that I can mold my child's experience of this entire event. Like, what they believe about themselves and what they remember about this whole experience is really dependent on me and how the kind of environment that I set up for my child during this time. And I know that right now, at the beginning of this webinar, that might sound a little bit overwhelming. But I'm hoping by the end of the webinar, you're going to have some really concrete tools that can help you have more confidence in your ability to mold your child's experience during this season. So I want to start out, and I want to talk about 3 kinds of stress. And I want to talk about specifically what happens in the body when we experience these 3 different kinds of stress and how it relates to kids. And so I have some notes here because it's really important to me that I give you super accurate information. And so I'm going to be looking down a little bit for a second. So when we talk about positive stress experiences, I want you to think about experiences like it's the first day of school, or it's the first day of online school, or I've got to go get a shot at the doctor, an immunization. Those are things that are positively stressful. You experience in your body like an increased heart rate. You have mild elevations in your hormones. So think about, when you've had the first day on a new job, or you're about to speak on a webinar, or something like that, something where you feel the stress, but it's not something that is traumatic. It's kind of a healthy stress. It makes your mind and your body kind of focused on, this is what's happening right now. This is some extra energy I have to get something done. And then we have tolerable stress. And tolerable stress activates the body's alert system to a greater degree. And it's a result of severe, longer lasting difficulties. Okay, so these are like long-term experiences that we have that are going to affect how our body functions. And here's the cool part about tolerable stress experiences. If the activation is time limited, so for example, we have this kind of shutdown that's happening right now, the stay-at-home order, it's time limited. It feels like it's going on forever. We know it's not indefinite. We know that there's going to be an end. Things are going to go back to a semi-normal. So we have a time limit on what's going on. The cool part is that when these tolerable stress experiences are buffered by relationships, so your relationship with your child, and you help that child adapt, that their brain and their organs can recover from that stress, from what might otherwise be really damaging effects. So think of positive, like this is your kind of everyday kind of stress. I've got a flat tire, you know, my dog is sick, my grandma's sick, things like that, but grandma recovers and my dog gets better. And then think about tolerable stress, like something we're going through right now, where it's prolonged, but it has a definite end. And if I was to be left to my own devices as a child, I would really, really struggle, and it would have long-term lasting effects on my life. Okay, but because I'm getting that buffer from my parent and I'm getting support from my parent, it turns out to be just a tolerable experience. It wasn't great. It wasn't awesome. It was upsetting, but because I have support from my parents, I'm not going to be infected in the long term from this experience. And then the third kind is toxic stress. And this is one where children experience a strong, frequent, and prolonged event of adversity. It could be, and it's without adult support. Okay, so you think about the response systems in our brain, they're disrupted. The brain architecture and the development of our brains are disrupted by this kind of experience, and it really increases the child's risk for disease, for cognitive impairment, and this is well into the adult years. So think about things like physical and emotional abuse or chronic neglect, experiencing something like COVID-19 without having that buffer from your parents to really help you understand and remain calm during the situation. That's going to be toxic stress. And so you can see we have these kind of 3 different levels of stress. And what we want to do as parents is we want to keep our kids in the positive and tolerable sort of kinds of stress. We want to avoid that toxic stress. And so right now, I would propose that what most of our kids are experiencing, hopefully, because we're involved in their lives, if you're on this webinar, you're involved in your child's life. That what we're going to talk about is how to make those tolerable experiences stop from becoming toxic experiences. Because the tolerable and the toxic experience are the same experience. Okay, the only difference is how the parent relates to the child during the tolerable versus the toxic experience. So isn't that interesting? So the same child two different children could go through the same experience and have 2 completely different outcomes because one child had parental support or adult support of any kind really, and the other child did not. And so what we're going to talk about today is strategies so that we can keep our families in this positive and tolerable level of stress. And so we're just going to talk about how do we live there? How do we live in these 2 areas of stress during this really stressful time? So there's a couple of protective factors that we're going to focus on. And these protective factors are not just for crises. They're really for all children. And all children need to have strengths in these areas. And parents need strengths in these areas to prevent all kinds of different trauma. So even though right now we're talking about COVID-19, these different protective factors apply to all kinds of things. Primarily, we talk about them in relationship to child abuse. So we talk about how children need nurturing and attachment. They need to feel safe with their parent. They need to have social connections. And that means parents need social connections and kids need social connections. Parents need to have a knowledge of parenting and child development. Because what happens when you have an expectation for your child that's not appropriate? So I have a 13-month-old, and my 13-month-old likes to escape from the living room. And so we've set up these barriers made of boxes and all kinds of different things to try to keep him from leaving the living room. And so he's got to the point now where he can break through the barriers. And I will say, in a sort of kind, I don't know, I'm not being mean to him, but I'll say, no, come back this way. No, come back this way. And he's starting to respond to me. But let's say my 13-month-old, the first time I tell him, no, come back this way, I think he's being disrespectful. And I think that since he has some awareness now, he should be able to listen to what I say, and he's just being disobedient. If I have that belief and I have that misunderstanding of what a child is capable of at 13 months old, it could escalate into some form of child abuse. And so it's important that we understand what is appropriate developmentally for our children. Also, concrete supports for parents. I was talking with Nancy and Johanna, and there is, through Hands and Voices right now, during this COVID-19 crisis, all the time, but specifically right now, a huge amount of resources. You guys are doing weekly meetings where you can talk to another parent one-on-one, all kinds of different things. And I'm going to let them talk to you about those things at the end of our time together, because it is so important that you take care of yourself. It's kind of like, you know, they use that illustration of like when you're on an airplane, you put your own mask on first and then you help your child. And that's really the kind of situation we're in right now with this crisis, is you really have to take care of yourself. You have to use those concrete supports you're being provided so that then you can take care of your child. And then parental resilience is super important. And I kind of think that at this time is going to really kind of combine with those concrete supports. You're going to become resilient because you're able to reach out and relate to other parents that are going through the same thing. And then also the social emotional competence of children is an important protective factor. And that's just kids learning what is and what is not appropriate, what is acceptable, what's not acceptable. All kinds of different skills. We're not talking about those skills today, but it's another important area that kind of builds this protection for our kids. So one of the things that we're going to talk about is staying connected. So remember, one of those was to stay connected, and one of those protective factors. And so I want you to think about what are ways your children are connecting with other children. And if your kids are doing that, will you just drop in the chat box, what are your kids doing? Like, how are your kids in your apartment or in your house or wherever it is that you're living? How are they right now connecting with other kids? And so just drop some ideas in the chat box. I'm curious what's already happening. All right, sending letters, Zoom meetings, texting, gaming, ePals. I'm so glad you have that going. Meets with class once a day, FaceTime. So there's all kinds of ways, right, that kids are connecting right now. There's a couple of things that I wanted to recommend. And one of the things is, I'm going to talk specifically about right now kids that use sign language as their primary mode of communication, or that use sign-supported speech. It's so, so important for those kids to be able to connect with other kids who use the same form of communication during this time. And so there's a couple of different platforms you can use. You guys have said you're using Zoom, you're using FaceTime. Google Duo is another one. It only allows for just 2 individuals. So you and the person you're calling are the only person that can get on the call. And also, I saw that you guys are doing ePals. I don't know if that's specific to Hands and Voices in California or if it's a different thing. But if somebody has some information about that, could you drop that in the chat box? One sort of ePal type service that I recently learned about, ePals, is through Sign-On. Okay, so that's somewhere where you could get some connections for your kids. Another one is, I've put this link in here, but it's actually going to also be in a handout I'm going to give you later. So there is an organization, or sort of a mom really, that has set up to do pen pals. And it's digital or virtual, and the parents connect with other parents based on what kind of communication your child uses, what their age is, and you can engage in these virtual meetups with other parents and their kids. So it's a really cool tool. And so let's see, Gazelle is saying that through ePals, which is through Sign-On, you meet with a deaf mentor and other DHH kids. That's great. That's exactly what we're talking about, staying connected socially with other kids who have the same kind of communication needs that you have. And the other thing is staying connected linguistically. And I think this is something that is maybe specific to deaf and hard of hearing learners, but maybe also if you speak a language other than English in the home. So you want to be able to connect your children with content that is given in their language. So I've given links, and again, I'm going to give these in handouts. This is a link to a humongous list of stories that are all closed captioned, and they're presented in either ASL or Signing Exact English, and it says on them what language or system they're using. And so these were actually created for teachers to access, but I think parents should have access to, so I'm giving you the links. And there's also a specific link that's for online COVID content. And so what that means is when you go to this link under online COVID content, which I'm going to give you a handout for later, it has all kinds of different information that's in sign language about COVID-19, and it explains it in really child-friendly ways. So sometimes it's a social story, sometimes it's kids talking about COVID-19 in sign language, sometimes it is those like brain pop videos, but they have gone in and provided an interpreter next to the video. Some of the online stories are actually, they're not exactly stories, they've taken live content from the internet, like the Cincinnati Zoo has been doing live feeds with different animals, and the zookeepers tell you all about the animal. And so there's a group of interpreters in Texas that have been recording that content, putting an interpreter up beside it, and they're posting it on these pages. So it's just a great resource to like keep your kids plugged in linguistically to someone's sign beside your own, and just to keep them, you know, developing and learning that language while they're at home. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is structure. And I have seen a lot of this.
Hold on, we're going to switch interpreters, okay?
Okay.
And if you can talk a little bit slower.
Sure.
Thanks.
We ready? Okay. I want to talk about structure. And I know I have personally seen on Facebook, that is a platform I am on a lot, because that's one of the main places where parents find us for coaching. And I've seen a lot of schedules. And some of these schedules are very rigorous and they're very detailed. And for some families, that works just fine. You know, if you as a family can have, you know, 8:15 to 8:30, wake up. 8:30 to 9, breakfast. 9 to 9:45, reading. 9:45, you know, if you can have it that structured and it works for you, that's fabulous. However, I think in the times we're in, more often than not, that kind of schedule is a little bit stressful. It's a little bit stress-inducing. And so what I want to talk about is a continuum of supports that you can use that aren't as strenuous or that don't require so much rigid implementation. And so there's two groups of kids I'm going to talk about. This first continuum we're looking at is primarily for teenagers. Okay, so on the left, I have my child can independently manage their day without assistance. There are some kids who they know the work they need to get done for school. They know the chores they need to get done, and they can independently go do their thing and be successful at it. There are those kids. I would say that there's probably not that many, in my opinion, but there are those kids that are just very, I mean, that's their personality. They can get it done, and they get it done. Then you have kids who can independently manage their day when they have a list of kind of to-dos, so to speak, and they're co-constructed. So for example, I tell my child, hey, here are the things I need you to get done today. And they write them down, or I help them write them down. And then they come up with a list of things that maybe they want to do that day. And by the end of the day, they'll have completed those tasks. So I've given a little bit more support than just completely turning them loose. But with a little bit of support, they can be successful. There are those kids, okay? Then there are those kids who can manage a list of to-dos that I help them create, but I need to check in with them every now and then to help them stay on track. Okay, there are those kids. And so we're still talking about, kind of making a list, checking in, things like that. And so I want to give you some structure to help you accomplish that. So if that is your kid, if you're saying, that's me, that's this one particular kid I have, this is Johnny, this is exactly the kind of support he needs, I want to give you a structure for that. So on the right here, we have an agenda where little Johnny has work tasks, and these could be work tasks for home, like do the laundry, or it could be work tasks for online school, if that's something your school district is doing. So I need to do this math assignment, I need to do this reading assignment. And then on the right, I'm letting Johnny come up with his own schedule for the day. So he's getting a little bit of independence, which teenagers want, and they should be, seeking that independence. And so he can make his own schedule for the day. But then at the bottom, you can see there's a self-care plan. So I'm also helping little Johnny think about, what are you going to eat today? Because the kitchen is freely available during this time, right? It's in the house. It's always there. It's always open. Okay, what am I going to eat? How am I feeling? And what kind of exercise can I do? Maybe it's watch a YouTube video and exercise along. Depending on where you live, maybe it's taking a walk or a run. I'm going to talk about what's your sleep looking like. Like, are we staying up till 2, 3 in the morning? Let's get to a solid sleep schedule. So where we're going to bed at a normal time, we're getting up at a normal time, and how are we connecting with friends? So I'm letting my teenager kind of run their own self, but I'm giving a little bit of input about self-care, and I'm really helping them create a structure to, like, what's your day gonna look like? And so I've given a list of kind of like, how do you get this done? And this is going to be all in a handout you're going to get at the end, but basically you're going to plan the night before to address all this with your kid. You're going to co-construct those plans. So you're going to, maybe you've noticed, like, son, you really need a shower. Like, this is something that, it's fallen by the wayside, but we need to get it back in check. Okay. And like, I'm totally like, during these times where I don't have to be anywhere, I have to make myself do certain self-care things because I'm just out of my routine. So you want to help them focus on that self-care, and then you want to review the plan from the day before and say, how did it go? And then you want to make the plan for the next day. And so this is for those kids who have a good amount of independence. So this is for kids, I would say elementary, middle school, or maybe just still needing a little bit of extra help in high school, where your kid needs a visual schedule, but if you give them a visual schedule, they can pretty much do it by themselves, okay? Or you could say, my child needs a visual schedule, and I have to check in on them often to help them keep on track. Or it could be, my child needs a visual schedule and requires regular check-ins, usually after each activity. Okay, so think about your kid. They didn't fall in the last category, they could probably fall in this category in some form or fashion. So I'm gonna show you some resources. So this kid that we're talking about that needs regular check-ins, usually after each activity, a tool you can use is called a first then chart. And I'm gonna give you access to these to print out. They already have a lot of the activities already done, so you don't have to worry about creating anything, because nobody has time to create anything right now, right? And so what you would do is you would say, first, you're going to do maybe this reading assignment, then you're going to do snack, or you're going to do, hula hoop, or whatever it is. And you usually want to put a work activity first, followed by some kind of activity that they really enjoy and they're really motivated to get to do. This is a choice board you could use for that first and second category of child, who you can give them kind of the whole day, and then they can either do it by themselves, or you can do some check-ins and they can stay up with you, or they can finish the content. So I'm going to give you this handout at the end, and you can see that there's different movement activities, there's different academics, there's different leisure. And so what you want to do is put everything on the board for the day, and you decide what your child can handle. Maybe they can only handle 6 things per day. Maybe they can only handle 3. Maybe right now, they can handle all 15. So you put the things on the board for the day, and then as they finish it, they're going to take the finished pieces over here in the bottom right, and they're going to take that piece and put it over the piece they finished. So for example, animal races. That's a funny one. I didn't create this resource, but I've always found that one to be really funny. Animal races. So if you have 2 rabbits and they're going to do animal races, they only get to do it one time. Okay, so you have your animal race on the choice board. When they finish animal races, that finished piece goes over it and they can't see it anymore. It's done. And this might help for snacks specifically. I feel like I need a choice board for snacks where, once they've had the goldfish, it's gone. They don't get more goldfish today or whatever. And so this is another just tool that you can use to help get your kids kind of on a loose schedule. It doesn't have to be rigid, but it's just something that helps them predict what is today going to look like, and what are the activities I'm going to do, and things like that. Just the structure that we all kind of need, but is kind of hard to even think about when you're just in your house all day, every day. One of the things they do have along with this packet is a blank one where you can draw in different things. So for example, if it was my son, goldfish and Nilla wafers would definitely be on there, okay? So I would have to draw my own, but they have a place for you to be able to do that. Here's another one that's specifically for work. So what you would do is you may or may not need rules because it's not a school environment, but you're gonna come up with an activity they're working for and put the picture of it here. And then I just use pennies. For every work activity they do, they get a penny. And once they finish those 5 activities, they get that thing that they're working for. I'm gonna try to speed up just a little bit. I'm trying to talk slow, but I do wanna get to some of this other stuff. Okay, so addressing new safety risks. When kids are home all the time, which we know they are now, and they have adults that might be a little bit distracted. So many of us are working from home right now and watching our kids full time. So we're full time trying to homeschool and watch our kids that are, not in school, and we're trying to do our full-time job. And so what that naturally leads to, and it's okay, is just that they're having increased time on devices, on the internet, on social media. They have increased unsupervised time. I don't know about you guys, but when I need to get on a call sometimes lately, I'm like, you want goldfish? Here's 5, right? Because I know that my son's 13 months old. It takes him a while to eat 5 goldfish, right? So there are just some things right now that are different. And so, and along with that are just some increased risks. So when you have increased unsupervised time, you're going to run into some of these issues, like, for example, increased opportunity to experience cyberbullying because they're on the internet more. So I want to talk about some safety guidelines. This is not all-inclusive. These are some guidelines that I think are specifically important to this time that we're experiencing right now. One of those is no technology in the bedrooms. And I think because we are in these working at home environments, there is more of an opportunity for kids to be off by themselves alone with technology. And that's the one thing that we want to avoid it as much as possible. I know it's not always possible, but as much as possible, we don't want kids to be alone with technology. And that doesn't mean that we're over our kids' shoulders stalking them, right, while they're talking to their friends or on the internet. But it's just we're within earshot, or eye shot, whether, your kid's a kid that signs or that uses verbal communication, or not verbal, oral communication. you just want to have them within ear or eye shot. You want to set some clear expectations. So this could be around personal information. Don't give your personal information to anybody. These are the apps you're allowed to be on. Here are the ways you're allowed to communicate. If you haven't had the discussion about sexting and you have a teenager, this is a really important time to have that kind of conversation. And just talk about, like, we don't take pictures of ourselves, we don't send it. Setting guidelines for video chatting. Like, if you're going to video chat, you need to have these kinds of clothes on, for example. And then handling exposure is something else we want to think about. So there are a lot of different philosophies on handling exposure to pornography or other harmful content online. And must wear pants. Exactly, Johanna. Like, and you think, like, of course they're going to wear, but guys, like, their little brains are not fully developed yet. Like, things that seem obvious to us are not obvious to them. So for handling exposure, here's what I recommend. Again, you can find all kinds of recommendations on the internet, but based on my research and experiences with kids and with content, this is what I recommend. That you teach kids, if they come across something that's inappropriate, okay, pornographic, whatever is inappropriate in your home, you tell them to look away, okay? And I just kind of give them these cues. Look away. I tell them not to exit the screen. And so if your kid, let's say you have several children in your home and you don't want the other children to be exposed to that on the screen, tell them to minimize the box, and then come get me. And here's the reason I tell them don't exit. A lot of people will say, exit out of it and come tell me. I want to know what my child saw. Because if I don't know what my child saw, then I can't explain it. I can't give any context. I can't, if something happens in the future with my child and I don't know what they saw, I may not realize that what's happening with them now is a result of what they saw. It's important to me to know exactly what my child experienced and saw, because I want to be able to be responsive to them and responsive to their needs in having that experience as much as is possible. And so, like I said, if you get on the internet and you Google it, you can find all kinds of there's basically two philosophies. One is close the screen and go get your parent. And one is leave it up and go get your parent. And I just fall in the leave it up and go get your parent, because it's so important to me to know what my child has experienced, so I can then frame our discussion around what they've seen. Okay, I'm just checking the time. I gotta move it. Okay, so emotional safety risks. You might have seen this graphic. This is not my graphic. This is something I saw online that I thought that is so powerful. Right now, kids are experiencing increased emotional strain. They're away from parents, they're away from friends, they're away from routine. They might wish they're away from parents, but decreased variety in their routine. So they're not getting to go to the soccer field or the YMCA or to school or to church or wherever it is that they normally go. And then they're also experiencing a decrease in responsiveness of present parents. So you may think, well, what do you mean by that? When a parent is working from home, a child often doesn't realize, like, my parents here with me, but they're not giving me any attention. They're telling me, shh, be quiet, I'm on a call, I'm working. That's not normally the situation kids experience. Usually after school, when the adults are home, finally, in most homes, I mean, they're getting attention. You're making dinner together, you're spending time together. So they may not understand, like, what is happening where I'm here all day, but mom is locked away in an office all day and she's constantly telling me, shh, 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 be quiet. So we have to think about, like, that it's a very unnatural experience that kids are going through right now, where even though we're here all the time, we may not be emotionally connecting with them all the time as much as they would like. And so this graphic kind of shows that what teens may be really experiencing, like boredom, lack of skills, confusion, worry, it may come out as swearing, disrespect, defiance. And so we really have to think about, as parents, like, okay, I'm seeing a behavior that's unusual. for my child. My child's not usually swearing at me, isn't usually disrespectful. So you really have to look at what's underneath that and have those conversations with your kids. Like, okay, you've started, really, talking back to me, and sometimes you're ignoring me, and I want to understand what you're feeling, because I know that this isn't normally how you behave. This isn't you. So are you feeling maybe, and give them some options. Are you feeling bored, or just, disconnected, or frustrated, or angry? And really giving them a chance to talk about what they're feeling. And so the way I do that is through emotional check-ins. So for example, asking them, what's one good thing that happened today? And really pressing them to come up with that good thing, because it could be, the show I decided to watch, I didn't have to watch commercials today because it was part of the on demand without commercials, like really press them to come up with something, even if they can't come up with something that's super meaningful. Ask them about things that have happened that day that might not have been pleasant. So like, if there was a disappointment, say, hey, like, what's a disappointing thing that's happening like for you right now? I think about seniors specifically, and that's a great point, Sarah, about grief. They're going through a lot of grief. Seniors have looked forward to this particular point in their life for years, okay? I just noticed the interpreter, is she frozen? Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I'm assuming that I'm still alive.
This is Nancy, and you are still alive, but yeah, the interpreter I think is frozen.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going with the captions. Maybe she'll pop back on.
I hope so.
Oh.
The captions are still there.
Okay, great. Oh, the captions went to Heidi?
No, I have the captions.
Okay.
Heidi said she doesn't.
Okay, she's back. There she is. Okay, she's back. Perfect. All right. Let me switch this back. Sorry, I've got little post-it notes to remind myself of things up here. Okay, so just asking them, like, what's something that you're struggling with, and then asking them just like, how are you feeling, and giving them kind of a visual of different feelings. In the handouts I'm going to give you, there's kind of some pictures where they can like really, depending on their level of language, they may just be able to say, feeling disappointed, feeling angry, feeling bored, but they may need, some more visual cues, and that handout has some visual cues for you to use. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you where you can locate some of these handouts. So I put my contact information up here, and the way that you're going to access all of these handouts is by going to www.thechildsafetycollaborative.com. And so I'm going to actually go with you there and show you where those are, just so that you have seen how to do it. So I'm going to stop sharing for a moment, and then I'm going to reshare. Here. Okay. Can everyone see? I'm going to wait for the captionist for just a second. Okay, so now what you should be seeing is the home page for the Child Safety Collaborative. And right here on the front, you can see it says webinar resources. So I'm going to click that. And what you will see is a summary of everything we talked about today. So for example, if you click on the technology and emotional safety tips, you're going to see a packet of information that lists those risks we talked about, the safety guidelines we talked about, those graphics, the emotional check-ins. It's going to have resources. So all of those links that we talked about are directly clickable in this document. And then the other ones, the visual schedules, this is actually made by Easter Seals from the Illinois Autism Partnership. And it's a school closure toolkit. That's where all of those resources came from. There's a lot in it. And when you look at it, you can tell it's been made for kids who have some kind of cognitive impairment or autism. However, I think it's just such great visual information that I'm using it for all of the families I'm coaching right now, even kids that don't have a disability. So it has all these different areas. And what I'm telling my families is life skills is like, take out the trash, take a shower, you know, eat lunch, you know, exercise, those kinds of things. And so it has all of those resources that we discussed and that we saw pictures of in this document. Here are the extras I told you about where you can actually go in and draw or write your own. Okay, and it just has tons and tons and tons of stuff, okay? And then I have the teen agenda. And so the teen agenda is on here, and it also has the instructions for how to use the agenda. So every piece of information that was in the PowerPoint is in just a more digestible, printable form in these handouts. The final thing I wanted to share with you is our Facebook page. And the reason for that is if you have questions, if you will drop them into the, oops, I didn't do it correctly. Switching screens, give the captionist some time. Okay, so you should see now the Child Safety Collaborative's Facebook page. So what we're doing on our Facebook page on a regular basis is posting content just like you heard today for free. We also do between 8 and 15-minute kind of mini webinars every Monday, and those are posted on here. So for example, if you go to videos, when you go to our Facebook page, you can see ones that we've done recently. So for example, we did one about the app TikTok. I would recommend if your kids are using TikTok, you go and view this. There's a free resource that comes with it that shows you how to set up wellness settings and security settings using TikTok. We talk about the emotional consequences of selfies, all kinds of things that are related to kids, technology, bullying, independence, all of those emotional topics that are sometimes hard to navigate as parents. And so we have those going up every Monday. So what I'm going to be doing is taking those questions that you post in the Q&A section, and I'm going to be using those as the topics that we discuss. Okay, so I'm going to switch back to my contact information now. And I'm going to go ahead and, let's see what time it is. I think we might be, we're right at time. I'll go ahead and stay and take some questions. If I can figure out how to get back. I'm going to stop my sharing for a minute. Okay, I don't see anything in the Q&A right now. So if you have questions about resources, about services, about where you can get more information about something, drop that in the Q&A. If you have a question about social emotional issues or technology or anything like that that we haven't talked about today that you're curious about, you can drop that in the Q&A as well.
So Jennifer, this is Nancy. Can I finish up?
Sure.
For you? Okay, so I forgot to thank Johanna Wenderly, who has been the tech person on this webinar and who saved my life at the beginning. So thank you, Johanna. And I wanted to thank again the interpreters and the captioner and Sherry Farina at the NorCal Center on Deafness. But Jennifer, I don't know how to thank you enough for what you did for us all today. So you were amazing, and thank you so much.
You're welcome. I love doing it. I do have the post-webinar survey. And you guys, what we use this for, I'm going to put it over in the web, the chat again. So this is a different one. You'll have to copy and paste it into your browser. And what I use this information for is to evaluate the logistics of presentation, the content of presentation. And when we do pro bono work like this, we're able to apply for grants and all kinds of things to help us provide these free resources. And so it's really helpful if we can show, here's what people said before and here's what people said after. So if you will just do us a great service and fill out that post survey, it's also going to ask you some information about the interpreting, whether you were able to see it well, the captioning, whether you were able to access it, all kinds of information like that that's going to go back to California Hands and Voices to help them decide, is this a really good platform for providing this type of information. Oh goodness, it's saying I would need permission. Okay, let me check a setting really quickly. Why would it be saying that? Sorry, I've got to take down all my post-it notes here. Okay, thank you. So I'm going to go to share a link. Okay, let's try this one more time. Is that the same exact link? Oh, that's a good point. I may not have published the survey. Thank you for that.
Jennifer, this is Nancy. And
Sure.
do you have email addresses for the participants?
I've put that on the form.
Okay.
So I'm seeing. So I don't have it to require sign in. I'm not sure why it's not working. Is it still not working? Oh, dadgum. Okay, so if you did the first survey, I should have your email address. And so what I will do is I will pull those email addresses from the first form and I will email you the second form. If you did not do the first survey before this started, if you'll just throw your email address into the chat box or send it to you can select just the panelists if you don't want it to be public, then I will make sure that we get one to you. And I will try to figure out why it's not working, because I'm not sure. I'm sure it's something with the settings or something like that. All right, other than that, if there are no questions, that's all I have for today.
Jennifer, this is Nancy again, and thank you. That's really all I can say. That was awesome. And thank you for providing the resources as well.
You're welcome. I think it's one of the most important things.
Right. And if that is that, then I think people need to sign off. And Jennifer and Johanna, can you stay on for just a minute?